Hey guys, it's Dave, aka Finance Guy, and today I'm going to show you how to install EverQuest, the emulator, the local install, so you can box all by yourself. This is going to be fun times, and I've had to try to do this a few times now. I'm not sure how to do it from scratch. It's been a while. It took me several hours to figure it out the first time, so we're going to try to do it smoothly, and now you'll be able to box all by yourself and offline, which is great if you don't have, if your internet's down or you just want to be left alone. So first things first, we have some notes, and I recommend taking a screenshot of this. We'll get to each point here. This video may go on for a while. I'm not really sure how long it's going to take to do all this, so hang tight, and here we go. So first things first, you want to download the server from this link, and that will take us to here. You're going to download this install script. So we'll get this, and just put it somewhere safe, and we're going to run it as an administrator. Oops. Here, it's administrator. It's okay, Windows. This would be a Windows install. I don't know how to install it on any other operating system. I think it can be put on Linux too, but not with this. So we're going to put in the default path. No existing SQL server. Default. If you want to play with bots, I would put yes here. Bots are not quite, they're not boxing. It's not your own clients. Bots are computer controlled. So it's almost like mercenaries, but they're a little smarter. And I tried them for a bit. They weren't as fun as boxing, but if you want to have bots, go for it. So I'll say yes. Mercenaries, these are mercenaries from Seeds of Destruction and Beyond on EQ Live. They're in beta. I'm going to just say no for now, but you can put them on yes. So now we're going to install. And installation error. Let's see. File does not exist. So give me one moment. I'm going to pause and just see what happened. Just had to back up a little bit. Just had a little error. We're going to try again. Let's see if this fixes it. And let's see this. All right. So this is what happened last time. This did not install properly. So we're going to install it now. MariaDB for the MySQL database. Meanwhile, while this is installing, I will come back to this. We are going to get the Reign of Fear client, and that is found at this link right here. This is a ROM, so just make sure that you own a legal copy of EverQuest. You can get it right here at this link, and when you click here, we're gonna put this here. We're gonna unzip this, unconfirmed download. Fishy, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Extract it right here. And we're gonna run this as an administrator. And this will take a moment to do its thing, so I'll come back to that. Next thing you're gonna do is download MacroQuest 2 from here, third line. So we have that here. We're not gonna register at EQ Emulator. We're not gonna create a login server account. We've already done this, but this link didn't work for me, which is why I showed you that other link. I am not going to download the Dragon to Nora at the release patch because I think it will install automatically with Spire, the server we're going to be using. So I'm not going to download that. So I'm going to download an approved MacroQuest build. I believe you can use any MacroQuest you want, but we're going to use this version just because that's the one I know. It's the one with E3, and I don't know if E3 works with other versions of MacroQuest. I'm not very familiar with MacroQuest outside of E3. So we're going to put that here. We're going to let that do its thing, and we're going to close it. And then we're going to install the Microsoft C++ 2015 32-bit redistribution. I already have it, so I'm not going to do that. The next thing we're going to do is, let's see what's going on here in our progress. So this is still going. All right, so this is still creating the database. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to pause until this all finishes. So give me one moment. All right, guys, when the server finishes installing, Spire will appear in your browser window. And just so that you know what to install, it's going to go to C drive users, your username, and server. And what you can do is you can open this install config.yaml file, and you'll see, I'm going to show you mine, and it's going to show you all your default usernames and passwords just so you can log into all your stuff. Now, obviously, this is not my username and password. I'm doing a completely separate install, but good to see all this. You can And Spire, this thing right here, the application, this is how you're going to start your server up every day. So put it on your desktop, make a shortcut to your desktop. That will bring up this. So let's see where we're at. So we're going to make an let's see if the client's finished downloading. It is. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the EverQuest Rain of Fear client and you're going to make two versions of it. You're going to have one called main, and then you're going to copy it. And make a second version. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. And we're going to call it. Give me one moment. Just having trouble. Here we go. I'm going to call it boxing. And for the main client. Oh, what happened? Oh, I'm still copying. My bad. Still copying. All right, now let's try it. We'll call it boxing. In the main client, we're going to go to Options Editor, and we're going to set up the graphics to be nice and pretty. So I personally don't like the new models, but I do like Horses and Elementals. I'm going to turn on all this stuff because texture quality high, resolution you can really put it to whatever you want, but I'll just leave it at where it is for now. Then you're going to go into the boxing one, and you're going to do Options Editor, and this time we're going to unselect everything, and we're going to turn all this off, and we're going to take texture quality to low. We use as minimum memory as possible, and then very important step, we're going to go here, and we're going to do a new text file, and we're going to call it nosound.txt and leave it empty. That will disable all sound on these clients. And by doing that, you'll save a lot of memory, a lot of processor power, and you'll also make it quieter for everyone but your main character. What's next? Okay, we launch Spire. We're going to update Spire's configuration. Okay, so you go to configuration and go to server config. And we're going to change this server long name. We're just going to call it test server and test server. They don't have to be the same, but the short name has to be one word as far as I know. So in fact, I'm going to do test server short and test server long. We're going to go to networking, and what you're going to do here is not fill out the public address because we want it to be offline. We do not want to use this IP address. So you're going to go into a command prompt, and so go to window, and you're going to type ipconfig, and you're going to want to use this IP right here, which is 10.00.44 for me. And I'm going to have to change my IP address at this point. It's my IP address. Just gotta... Anyway. Yeah, no problem. Let's block that out when I edit the video. So you go there, and this you leave the same. 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 And what you do here is we're going to take out this. We're going to take this out. We're going to take this out. We're going to take this out. And we're going to take this out. We're going to take this out. And we're going to leave this the same. And the next step is, let's see, Spire rules. Okay, we're going to click save. Okay, we're going to go to configuration, and we're going to go to server rules. This is where you can update the server rules as you like. So we're going to go over a few of them. So first of all, RAID. Let me just make sure I find this. Let me see. I just gotta give me a moment to find what I'm looking for. I'm gonna pause it while I look for. Here we go. Enable or disable the RAID experience modifier. If you turn this off and you turn off this one too. Sorry, this is the one you want to turn off. This will make it so the whole RAID will level up as if every character is by themselves instead of dividing by members. So if you had 54 members, dividing experience by 54, you level huge, very slowly. So you're going to turn it off, and turn it off. And mind the errors. Let's see, why do we have an error? Delta Connect, TCP. Let's go back to this. Give me 1 sec. I'll pause it. I'll be right back. Okay, the reason it didn't work was we didn't turn the server on. So you do have to go power on the server, and you can turn off the static zones, because if you're playing by yourself, you don't need static zones. I'm not even sure what it means, but this is the default. And you go to the start server pre-flight checks and let it do its thing. And once it does, you start the server. And I got an error because it was already running. That's okay. So coming back here, we can turn off the group experience modifier and the rage experience modifier like we did. What are some other things? You can turn off food if you don't want to eat and drink. What else? Let's see. How about no experience loss on death? So here you can turn the experience higher or lower. You can change this. There's some other things you can change here. More experience modifiers. I'm just trying to find the just going through some of this. You can see it. You can see it while I'm looking. You can change the mana regen modifier. This is 100% of normal mana, and you can change it to any number, 200, 300, 400, 50 if you want to make it slower. There's also a hit point and endurance version of this. I'm not going to look for it, but it is in here. You can change the max level. You have to change it here and here. I'm not sure which is which, but make sure you change them both. There's also, let's see. We have resurrection illness here. Here we go. Let's give me a second. Well, it's in here somewhere. The resurrection sickness. You can disable it, and you can also you can turn off death experience level. If you change this to 100, you have to be level 100 to lose experience, and therefore you won't lose experience because you won't be level 100 on this server. You can also you could actually set this to level 1 if you want to. That might be a little weird. But there is actually a way to disable res effects. So what else are we gonna do? How about a loot multiplier? So you can change the global loot modifier. So say a mob's gonna drop 2 pieces of loot. If you change this to 2, they will drop 4 pieces of loot. If you change it to 3, it'll drop 6 pieces of loot, and so on and so forth. So you can actually make more loot drop, which is great if you're playing like a small group or you just don't feel like raiding over and over again. It's really up to you how you want to do that. Another thing you can do is the expansion toggle. So you can say what expansion you're in. 0 is classic, 1 is Kunark, 2 is Velius, and so on. This will change zones and rules based on the as error accurate as this emulator can be for the expansion. 9 is the latest that I know of that we can go. So if you want to do true TLP progression, which is something I've actually been tempted to start over and do, and I'm very tempted to because I actually deleted my entire server to show this video. I'm thinking about starting over. You would do this right here. You set this to 0. So let's see. Level cap, AA. Okay, if we did the mana and hit point regen, you can do AA modifiers as well. All right. Moving on, back up the database. Very, very important. Every day that you play, make sure you go to database backup, and put it somewhere in the cloud, Dropbox, OneDrive, wherever you're comfortable. Just because if you lose your database, you lose all of your progress. Like I just did to make this video, I did back it up though. Okay, what's next? Patching the server. You can go to server updates periodically, and they will show patches here. The reason these are grayed out is because I have the newest version. I could always, I could back up if I wanted. I could go back a version if there's problems with my version. But check this every so often. There are updates. You can see the change logs, what's going on. All right, now you have to edit eqhost.ini so that you can log into your server. So let's go here, go to EQ host, and you're going to change this login to your login server. So give me 1 sec to find it. Oops. All right, so I just updated my login server. I believe that's the correct IP address. It says 5998 here, but in your file, you're going to want to use 5999. So let's just, because that's for the Reign of Fear client, we use 5999. So in both files, in both EverQuest installs, we're going to do this, and then we're going to go. Give me a second, I moved to a different one. And then the boxing one, we're going to go here, do that. Okay. And okay, next step, we are going to create the first account. So first things first, let's load up MacroQuest. So I'm going to load up this version of MacroQuest just because I have 2 of everything right now and it's driving me a little crazy. So we're going to your file, and you'll run MacroQuest here. Oh, wait, did we not unzip? Oh, okay, so make sure you unzip. Make sure you extract your stuff. Just do that real quick. All right, I'll go in here, run MacroQuest, and then we're gonna run, let's see what folder it's in. Gonna run EQ box chat, EQ BCS2, and you can say yes to that. That's what allows the clients to talk to each other. You can allow that when the firewall yells at you. And now we're gonna run EverQuest. So we'll do it on the main client first. We'll do, actually, I'm gonna show you, I have to show you one other step. We skipped a step. So we're gonna go to EQ game, and we're gonna create a shortcut for it. So just give me a second to create a shortcut. Where is the shortcut? Here we go. And we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go to properties. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do / actually, let me back up here, make sure we do this right. I'm gonna make sure we do this right. We're gonna do, let's just make sure we do this right. Directory path. Okay. In the target, we're gonna do patch me. We're gonna do that for both of them. So we're gonna copy that. We have to patch me will bypass the launcher. We're gonna do that in the other one too. So let's start this up in the meantime. So here, oops. So here I do patch me. I'm gonna bring this up, and now we're gonna create a username and password. So I'm gonna say account1, and I'll make the password ABC. I'm gonna log in. This will create it if we did this right. So it looks like we did it wrong because it would have already logged in. So I'm just gonna pause and I'm gonna see what's wrong, and we're gonna fix it. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Made some changes. So when you first run Spire, it's actually running in admin mode by default. So what you have to do is shut it down. You might have to force kill it in Task Manager. And then start it up again as your user without admin. You want to run it not with administrator rights, just regular rights. I did change some of the IP addresses to my local IP. I changed it to a different IP. So that also might fix it. We're going to test it again. So again, you'll have your own IP when you do IP config. And then everything else is going to be that. And we're going to try it again. So we're back here, and we're going to type in a password, ABC. All right. So there it is. It says down though. So let's see what's going on. Why it says down. It might not just be because the client needs to be refreshed. We're gonna try to connect to it anyway and see what happens. Oh, perfect. So it might play the EverQuest music, the classic EQ music. Let's find out. Oh, it's gonna play it. No. So we're gonna create a character, and I'm just gonna let's see if I can maximize this. All right, perfect. Here's our MacroQuest Windows. We know MQ is running, and then I'm just gonna make a human. And him Dave, and I'm gonna make him. Let's make him a warrior. It's important we have a warrior as the main character. I think at least if you're gonna make a box, I'll make him agnostic. And we're gonna start in Freeport. It's not gonna matter in a second. Enter world. Oh, the zone is unavailable. Try again. Okay, I will pause it and try to figure out what happened. Be right back. All right, I'm back. So when you start your server up, make sure everything here is online except for query serve. I had to change the IP addresses again, so I'll show you one more time. So what I changed was I went to this and I put it back to 0000. Same here, 0000. That's what I changed. So now the zone servers are booting up. They weren't booting up before. So you can actually go here when you power on and you hit the pre-flight checks, you can make sure it works. Make sure you have login server checked so we can play offline. All right, now what we're gonna go in. We're gonna have to restart. Okay, so go back to the EQ main and EQ game shortcut, and go back into EverQuest. So this will Run it again, and now we remember our account is account 1, ABC. Okay, we're gonna get in real quick. We have Dave, he's in South Taquinos, he's gonna log in. All right, we have Dave in, so I hope so. Oh, there he goes. Okay, good. It's gonna lock up. So first things first, let's zone to plane of knowledge. Oh, that's right, we can't zone to plane of knowledge. Okay, the next thing you want to do is create every character. So I'm just gonna create 5 characters. I'm gonna pause it while I do it because I'll show you how to. I'll just real quick. So you're gonna go back to now. You can go to the boxing one. And you're gonna create it here. So we're gonna open up another instance and show you this. And I'm gonna create 6 characters with the video paused, and I will be right back. Okay, it should be noted that each character should be created on their own account. So account 1, account 2, account 3, and so on. I have all 6 created. What is our next step? Where are we? Heidi SQL edit database to make everyone a GM. So Heidi SQL, Heidi SQL. You can download this for free. You can use any SQL editor. I use Heidi because that's what was recommended. So you have everything here, the information. The password is going to be found in your install-config.yml file in your server folder, which is your C drive users, your username server. That's what you use. It's gonna be different for everyone. So here's mine. I'm gonna again. This is not my regular install. Put the password here and click open. Oh, here. There we go. Just give it a second. It's gonna probably complain because I think I had a query open that was really big, and just give it a second to load. Meanwhile, we're going to start bringing up the. Okay, so we're going to close this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this out. I'm going to do the account table is where we have everyone. And you don't need to know too much SQL to do this, but just pay attention, take a screenshot if you have to. Select star from account and then press F9 or click on this play button. This will show all of your accounts. And what we're going to do is we're going to type update account set. Where is it? Let me just find it. Set status equal to 255. This will set every account on the server, so make sure you want to do this, to 255, which gives them GM powers. And it says it's unsafe, so we don't have a where clause. It's okay. This is okay. And then what we do to make sure it will happen, we do select star from account, and I forgot my from. And there you can see everyone now has GM status. Now you do have to log out and log back in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill the clients. So we're gonna do /BCAA for box chat all clients, /exit. And everyone's gonna exit. And what's next? Next, we want to do auto login. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to MacroQuest, and we're going to find auto login .configuration right here. And what we're going to do is here are some samples. So the server is going to be the short name equals the long name. So what we will do is we're going to bring up the server name. That's right under here. And we're going to say test server short equals test server long. For the first account, the password was ABC, and the server is test server short. And the character was Dave. And the account name was account 1. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to, let's see what this is. I'll change that in a second. I'm going to take this, we're going to make 6 of these. Now if you had 54 characters, you'd make 54 of these. So make sure you do it with each of your characters. So account 2, account 3, account 4, account 5, account 6. It's good to have the same password on every account. I know it's not very secure, but you are offline, so you're okay. So Mary was the second character, and then we had Chris. No, sorry. No, we had Janet, then Chris, then Nancy, and then Gary. And for this profile here, what you're going to do is you're going to copy your box, I actually don't know which one you would do, but I'm assuming boxing because most of the characters are boxing. So I'm going to do this and do that. All right, next step, we're going to have to, we want to build the script to start it. So we're going to create that script now. So what we do is go into Notepad, and here is the script. That's my old script. Let's see where it is. I might have not seen, oh, I know where it is. So we'll do a new file, and I'm just going to pause for one. Oh, I have it right here. So we're going to grab this, and we're going to put it in Notepad, and I'm just going to delete that first line. So this is going to start MacroQuest and box chat, except this is going to the wrong folder. It's going to my old folder for the real server. So what I'm going to do is just update this and take this and put this here. And I don't know if we can have spaces. I honestly don't know if we can have spaces in the names. So I might have to put dashes. We'll test it. So I'm going to save this as, let's put it in the folder, local demos startup. And what we're going to do is we need one for each account. So, and I'm going to just pause it real quick and update this. So give me one moment. All right, so we're running again. And I want to just point out some important things. We have starting MacroQuest, starting box chat. These have to come first. Then you do not have to understand what this means. It's just understand that it's important. What you need to know is your character name needs to be here, and your character name needs to be here. Then you need to have the correct path of EverQuest, and we have a main for the main character, and then the correct path of EverQuest again with the EQ game exe, and we have to have the correct account. And you want to have a timeout of 5 seconds, which will make a 5-second delay between starting each character. If you do it too fast, it may reset the options file, which means all your graphics will get maxed out, and you could bog down your computer. So use 5 seconds or slower. 5 seconds always works for me, so I think 5 is good. And then for every other client, just use the boxing client. I highly recommend starting your tanks first so you can get to your tanks easily, especially if the main tank dies. So I always have my tank, all my tanks first, and then everyone else I do in alphabetical order, so it's easy to find anyone of you, especially when you have 54 characters. So I'm going to test this script. So let's go to, first of all, this should not be a text file. I saved it wrong. It actually should be a batch file. So we're going to do .bat. It should be a bat file. We got to run it. So we're going to go to here and here, and let's see what happens when we run it. Okay, so I guess we can't use spaces. Yeah, I'm going to pause it. I'll be right back. God damn it. Oh, I didn't pause the video. I'll have to edit this part out. Well, you guys can see the minutia of having to do this is something else. This took hours to set up the first time, and I'm looking at the time now and all the errors I've made, and it does take its sweet ass time, if I'm being frank. All right, so let's see if that will work. Start Start MacroQuest, start box chat, and this should start it up and log everyone in. Although I think I skipped a step. Did I skip a step? No, that's it. Okay, so we are logging in automatically. I'm just going to double check that. And yep, and he'll log in 3 seconds. So let's go to the next step while it does its thing. This can take up to 5 minutes when you're 54 boxing. So go ahead and make yourself a cup of coffee while things are doing its thing. All right. What was next? Let's see. You're right back. I seem to have lost my notes. Okay, so we're in now. Lost my notes. That was something else. So what else we need? How to invite all characters to a group. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is just invite everyone to a group, and they should auto accept. Yep, they're auto accepting. So we have Mary, Janet, Chris, Nancy. And once you have multiple characters, multiple groups, you're going to want to put everyone in a group, and then you're going to want to put them in a raid. Once everyone's in the group and raid configuration that you want, you're going to type / save group and a name. We're going to say main. And now, whenever you type /group main, everyone will disband from their groups and everyone will form up into their groups. And from that point, you can make a hotkey that will raid invite everyone. You raid invite all the group leaders. So it might be 2 hotkeys if you're 54 boxing because you have 9 groups. You have to invite 8 group leaders and yourself. So that's how you get the groups going. What's next? All right, here are the hotkeys you're going to need. So I'm just going to throw these hotkeys off. And honestly, there's going to be more than what I'm going to show you, but I'll do my best. So we're gonna do the first hotkey is we want a follow me hotkey. Do follow me, and we're gonna say / BC. I actually don't remember the command. I think it's follow me. Hold on. It's not. Hold on. It's / follow me. That's right. That's what it is. I've typed it 1,000 times. I don't remember. So you do / follow me. And real quick, I'm going to zone to plane of knowledge. We're going to do #zone. I'll get to the pound command shortly. I'm going to plane of knowledge. I'm going to turn off the sound, which is really loud. Get there. First time you zone somewhere is a little slow. Alright, I'm going to turn the sound off. So I'm just going to summon everyone here. We do want to make hotkeys for our summons, which I will explain in a moment. But you want to have a hotkey that summons 5 characters at a time, since each macro can have 5 characters. You want to make enough buttons to summon the whole raid. You click each one as you've seen in my other videos. So here's follow me, making everyone follow. You're going to want a stop hotkey. We're going to do / stop. And that will make them stop following. You're going to want an engage hotkey. So we do here, we do engage, and the command for that is assist on, and that will make all your guys assist the character who says that. So put that on anyone who will be engaging or controlling the character's attack. You're going to want back off. This will tell everyone to stop attacking. They may continue to dot and debuff, but they'll stop meleeing and casting offensive spells. We're going to want a med button, so all your characters will meditate. So we do / med on. Just make sure that works. Yep, that works. We're going to want a hotkey to stop meditating. / med off. We're going to want a hotkey for debuffs. That's / debuffs on. You can also do / debuffs off, one word, to stop debuffing. I'm not going to put that in because I don't actually use a hotkey. I'll type that if I have to do that. And you want a hotkey for dots. So that's / dots on, one word. And dots off will stop the dotting. So that's those hotkeys. Oops. What else do we need to know how to do? Find slot. So find slot shows you what people have in a certain slot. If you type it by itself, it actually will tell you in the MacroQuest window all the available slots. and how to access them. So for example, find slot main hands can show everyone's main hand and say, this is a good way to do loot. It's a good way to figure out who has what so you can assign loot accordingly. You can also type find slot /only with a pipe character, and you can do things like casters, priests, tanks, hybrids, melee, silk, leather, chain, or you can do each individual class like BRD, PAL, SHD, etc. You can also do the names of the characters you want to check, and so on and so forth. Similarly, you can do not, and you do everything but what you say. So not casters, not leather, not chain, not tanks, etc., etc. So that's how you use find slot. And you can use only and not on other commands. You can use it with engage. You can actually use /assist on only melee, assist on only casters if you have mobs that are immune to one or the other. So good to know that. What are some other commands we want to know? /quick burn. Sorry, plural. /quick burns, /long burns, and /full burns are in the MacroQuest INI files that will activate burns. You want to use #summon to summon a character to you. You can also summon an NPC to you if you want to just summon a raid mob and just kill it right in place where you are. #zone will take you to a zone. You have to know the short names like PO knowledge or Guck bottom, Soul Dung B, etc. #kill will kill your target. #repop space force will forcibly repop the zone, including all targets, meaning if you just killed a bunch of raid mobs and you want to do it again, you can pop the zone. #reset disk _timer space all will take your target and reset all their discipline timers. Same with reset AA timer all. You will reset all the AA cooldown timers. #scribe spells, I'll show you how to use that. So say you don't want to buy all the spells. Say it's like way too annoying. You can actually target yourself. I don't know if you have to target yourself, but #scribe spells and a level. So I'll say 70. And this just trained every spell up to level 70. And now I don't have to buy them. Also, you can do #learn discs, plural, and 70. And now I learned, oh, I did that wrong. I think it's train discs. Train discs? Nope. Train disc. Train disc, yep. #train disc 70. I just learned every disc. You can't use them until you're the right level, but you can at least get them in your spellbook and your discipline. Set GM on off. So you target the character and you type set GM on. You can make a hotkey for this. You can also do set invulnerable on. And now you're invulnerable. I recommend making a hotkey that does both turning the GM mode on and invulnerable on. This will make mobs not aggro you, so you can kind of walk around and stage your raid. And then obviously off, set invulnerable off, and set GM off to turn it back off. So make a hotkey for that as well. What else? You can do #give plat to give yourself money, and #give item to give yourself an item. But you have to do it by item ID. So to find out an item ID, you go to Heidi SQL and do select star from items. No, you don't say all. You say select ID name from items where name equals, and I'll just say banded mail. And I do that, and you get item ID 3056. So I go on Dave and I say #give item 3056, and there's my banded mail, and I have some armor. Let's see, what else do I have to show you? EQ E3 INI files. So really, there's a lot to talk about, and I don't think I want to include it on this video, but what I will tell you to do is go to the E3 documentation, which is right here, and get familiar. And be honest with you, there's so much in here. You just have to get familiar with it. There's a lot of stuff, and I can't cover it in one video. I apologize, but it is right here. It's from that. So you go to Project EverQuest's website where you got everything, and scroll to the bottom and get the wiki. The wiki is a little bit different, so you might not be able to do everything that you can do, but that's where you get it. Let's see if there's any other E3 files that are worth talking about. You have gam parse here for parsing. It's under Cremo Utilities. Kill EQ will kill all of your EverQuest clients, which is great for if you lock up and you can't get it out. Just kill EQ. You can see some sample macros, which is good for, just sample macros just to get ideas. You don't want to edit anything in these includes, and these are just some other general things, and you can read the samples for these as well. What I do want to show you is 2 files not included, and I'm going to bring up Google Drive. We have the complete heal script, which is written by another EverQuester that I used to play with. I've added some comments. You may need to delete these comments. I don't know if it will work with these pipe characters. I think it's a comment, but I'm not sure. The only thing in this script that you should be editing are the names of the clerics and the names of the tanks. You must have 6 clerics and 4 tanks for the script to work. Otherwise, you have to edit the script to fix it. And I don't know how to do that safely, so I'm not going to do it. And this will do your complete heal rotation. To run the complete heal rotation, you turn it on by running this macro. Make this a macro. So we call it like ch.mac, and put it in all your other MacroQuest macros. And you can do /raid say set timing and a number, and that will be the delay between complete heals. To start the heal chain, you do raid say start heal chain. To stop it, raid say stop heal chain. And you can actually change the tanks, but it must be 4 tanks. So they don't have to be tanks. They can be anyone, any 4 people, but 4 tanks. And I think that's everything. I will put a link to this script and this script in the YouTube video description box. If I've forgotten anything, please tell me. I will try to make another video, but this video has been a little exhausting. And guys, I deleted my server to do this because there is no other way to do it. If I can't restore my server, I essentially have to start over. And I was actually thinking of starting over because I honestly, I cheated my way to Velius. I just wanted to get to level 60 fast. And I feel like I didn't really spend a lot of time in the older content. So I may actually start over and record some videos of Classic and Kunar, because I know a lot of folks love that stuff. So, and then I'll go back to I'll work my way back through Velius and Lookland and do Planes of Power again. I'm not really sure. I'll think about it. Anyway, if you like this video, please share it, comment, share, subscribe, comment. As I said, this was a really hard video to make, and I'm really happy that I was able to make it. If anything doesn't work, please put it in the comments, and I will try to address it. Have a good one, everyone. Good night.